Hello there. You are welcome to HISGOV Tv. And I must say that there has been a change in the name of our channel. We decided to rename the channel as HISGOV Tv, basically because we are dealing with history and government at the same time. And so you would see, of course, a different name. If you see a HISGOV, is still, of course, WASSCE History TV. You see, of course, WASSCE History TV is still HISGOV TV. So that is just the little change that we have been making concerning our channel. And so you can see that the logo and everything is quite different from the normal logo that we know of. Now, today is special. Today we are going to look at the WASSCE history exams. You and I are aware that on 30th August this year, students or candidates of history or history candidates are going to write their WASSCE exams. And so basically today I want to take you through the processes, the things that you should know as a history student going in to write your exams. And I'm very hopeful that by the end of this discussion, you are going to do better in your WASSCE, not less than A1 to B3 after you have fully watched this video. Good. So today we are doing a lot of things, how to pass your WASSCE history. So let's begin with it. Before we begin, let's take a look at what we are going to do for today. So basically what we are going to do today is that first of all, we will survey a WASSCE history paper, of course, which is the 2021 question paper. So I'll bring the question paper out and then I'll show it to you on the screen as we move on, and then so that you can have a feel of how the WASSCE paper looks like. Then we also take a look at how to answer objective test questions and also the topics that you are supposed to learn for the objective tests. Then we also look at answering essay questions. So we also take a look at answering of essay questions. So essay questions, we also take a look at that, how to answer essay questions and the topics that you should look forward to. Then we also look at the last one, the do's and don'ts in answering history, of course, questions. So what are some of the things that you shouldn't do as a student of history, that if you do them, you are going to be penalized? So we will look at that also. So these are the 4 things that we are going to look at today in our discussion, and I very much hope that you stay tuned and watch the video throughout. You comment and you subscribe and you share. So first of all, before that, let's take a look at the survey, okay, of what a history paper will look like. So let me show you a typical history paper. So let's begin with the objective paper. So the objectives, this is a typical history objective paper. As you can see here, they are up to 50. So you are expected to answer 50 objective history paper. This paper you are looking at is 2021 WASSCE history paper, which was last year. So you have seen it here. We have the last number here, which is supposed to be 50 questions. All right, up to 50 questions. So we have 48 here, of course 49, and then we have 50 here. So that is going to be for the paper A. Then the paper B, you will have 3 sections. So we have section A, which is the landmarks of African history. Okay, you have 3 questions there, and then you have the section B, which is Ghana in the 19th century. You also have another 3 questions there, and then we also look at Ghana in the 20th century, you also have another 3 questions there to answer. And so basically, this is what the WASSCE exams is, all about. Okay, so now that we know or we have surveyed the paper, let's take a look at how to answer questions, especially in the objective test. So let's begin. Now, candidates are expected to answer 50 objective or multiple choice questions, as I have already indicated. Let's move on to the next one. Now, 5 objective questions from the following topics. So bear in mind, if you don't know, WAEC has 10 permanent topics that they set objective questions on every year. Okay, and so I'm going to show you the 10 permanent topics. And these topics, the first one is the historiography and historical studies. And this topic begins from what is history, your first lesson in history. It spans through the sources of history, the methods for writing African history. So it covers entirely historiography. So from the definition and importance of history up to the methods used in reconstructing African history. So basically, it covers the of course, documentary, the non-documentary, the advantages, and all of that. So you'll get 5 questions from this topic. And the next topic to look out for is the trans-Saharan trade. And you already know, of course, the trans-Saharan trade. Of course, looking at the organization of the trade, the effect of the trade, the decline of the trade. So you look at all of that. You get 5 questions from that topic. And then also Islam in West Africa. Islam in West Africa, that's the introduction of Islam in West Africa, the impact of the introduction of Islam in West Africa, all of that. You also get 5 objective questions from that topic. Then we also have the European contact with West Africa, and this has to do with the coming of the Europeans, the reasons for the coming of the Europeans, the immediate effect, of course, for the coming of the Europeans. So you also get 5 questions again from this area. Then the 5th one is the transatlantic slave trade. Transatlantic slave trade will lead to the introduction of the definition of the transatlantic slave trade, to the organization of the trade, to the impact of the trade, the effect especially of the trade on West Africa, and then also so everything about the transatlantic slave trade, you will get 5 questions from there. Then we also look at the Christian missionaries' activities in West Africa, and basically this also has to do with the impact of Christianity on West African people. So both the negative and then the positive, and their activities, what they came to do, the schools that they established in West Africa. You also get 5 questions from that area too. Then we will look at the scramble and partition of West Africa. So the reasons for the scramble, the effect of the scramble, the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 85, and generally the effect of the scramble and all of that. The recommendations and the terms in the Berlin Conference, the agreement and all of that. All of that is important. You get 5 questions from that area too as well. Then you look at the colonial rule in West Africa. Basically, you look at the French West Africa and British West Africa, their administrative policies, assimilation, indirect rule, the impact of colonization on West Africa. All these areas are areas that you should look out for in the objectives. And then the next one is the problems of independent West African states. So this is where you take a look at neocolonialism as the main topic in this particular this particular topic. And basically you also take a look at the military rules, the military rule or regime in West Africa, and that is what this topic is also about. Then the next one is the West African and International Organization. So this is where you should look out for the UN, ECOWAS, AU, the Commonwealth, and all those organizations that West African countries join. So basically, these 10, 5 here and 5 there, okay, these 10 topics are purely objective topics. And whether you like it or not, you are going to answer 5 objective questions on each of these topics. So I will entreat you to solve past questions around all these topics. And I bet you are on your way to success. All right. Good. So now that we have got with the objective questions, how to answer the objective question, let's take a look at how to answer the essay questions. So let's take a look at the essay questions where you are expected to do. Now, for candidates are expected to answer 4 essay questions. And these 4 essay questions, you answer at least 1 from each section. So the first section is the landmarks of African history. And this area, you get 3 questions from the landmarks of African history. And this area, mostly consists of Form 1 or SHS 1 or Year 7 or Year 10 topics. So basically, it's about the civilizations that you have learned. It's about the historiography from, of course, what is history, up to the sources of history, importance of history. So all those areas, you master all of them. That is where the landmark of African history is. So basically, the civilization and also the historiography, that's the African, the sources in the reconstruction of African history, of course, what is history, and all of that. So those are the areas that you should be expecting 3 questions from that area, and it will make up the landmarks. Then, of course, Ghana in the 19th century, you should also basically look at from Form 2 topics, and that is basically the name Ghana, the ethnic groups that you studied in Form 2, and also, most importantly, the area that you should also take, of course, serious is the history of economy and traditional art and traditional industries. You remember you learned about salt production, iron production, mining, carving, wood carving, cloth weaving, those indigenous industries. Certainly, a question will come on one of them, being it the process that it is done or the importance of it. So you take a good look at that area, the industries, the traditional industries, the mining, the carving, learn all of them and their importance. Certainly, a question will come from there. Then we also have Ghana. Sorry, this is Ghana. It's supposed to be A rather. So Ghana in the 20th century has to do with, of course, basically Form 3 topics. So you also have 3 questions from Form 3. This will span from nationalism, the Aborigines, rights protection, the struggle for independence, basically. So this area, the last part is basically the struggle for independence, and sometimes students find it difficult to answer for questions from there. And also the missionaries' activities and all of that will form part of this area. So you are expected to get 3 questions from each, 3 from Form 1 notes, 3 from Form 2 notes, and 3 from Form 3 notes. Of course, making it 9, then you answer 4. It's quite, I know that the notes are quite many, but you should try your best and do that. Good. So let's take a look at the do's and don'ts now that we know the nature of the questions and what we should be expecting. Now, the first do's and don'ts is that candidates are advised not to use pronouns. I repeat, pronouns to begin a sentence. To begin a sentence. So, for example, you are beginning your sentence, then you start by saying, they migrated from Ketu. The question is, who migrated from Ketu? So, the they, who? migrated from, of course, K2. You understand? So instead of saying they, you replace it with what? The Ewe migrated from K2. Instead of saying they migrated from K2. So never begin your sentence with they or pronoun. Of course, pronoun, being it we, he, she, I, you, it. Don't try it. Good. Let's move on to the next one. Again, candidates should avoid using abbreviated words in their essay. So don't abbreviate your words, you write them in full. For instance, if you are writing don't, do not, don't say don't. Write do not instead of don't. So don't write don't, but write do not. Mustn't, must not. Don't write of course mustn't, but you can write must not. So all words should be in full, no abbreviation. For candidates should avoid using present tense, and this I always have issue with my students using present tense to write history for me. So for example, Akan migrates from ancient Ghana. Present tense here, no, it is wrong. It's supposed to be Akan migrated from. So here S should be D. Akan migrated from ancient Ghana. Instead of saying that I can't migrate. So please avoid using present tense. Go back and revise your past tense notes. For candidates should avoid using dates if they are not sure. Please don't quote a date that you are not sure. If you are not sure of the date, don't quote it. Just write what you want to write without, it's not compulsory to bring a date. Don't quote a wrong date. And some of you too, you write and you leave a space as if you want to put the date there, but you've forgotten the date, so you leave a space there and then you continue. Stop it. It's not good. For candidates should also avoid using long sentences. Please, your sentences should be short. Don't be writing, and the Akans, according to the Akan tradition, they believe that their ancestors came from ancient Ghana and they migrated and they went to, please, make it short with full stop all the time. Okay, don't make it long sentences so that you can avoid making grammatical errors and mistakes as well. And also the last thing I'll add, which I did not of course bring here, is that now WAEC does not give extra sheet. So the questions that you saw are on the paper. You are going to answer the questions you are going to write the answers on the question papers. So if you are a fan of writing too many, not going directly to the point, there will not be extra sheet for you because you will not bring the section B out of the examination room. The section B paper will not come out. It's only the section A that will come out from the examination room. The section B paper, that is what you write your answers on. So you give it back to the invigilator and there is no extra sheet. So please avoid long introductions. As of course, if you can avoid long introductions, it's not about if you can avoid long introductions, okay, and go straight to the points, short sentences. Good. So with this, I think I have said that already. Avoid long introductions already. Good. So I think we have come to the end of today's lesson, and I am hopeful that this is going to go a long way to help you or to guide you in your exams on 30th August. Whatever happens, you can come back and comment. Whatever happened in the examination room, don't forget to come back and comment and share with us your experience. Have a nice day. Subscribe to our channel and recommend it to your friends as well. We'll see you some other time. There are more and more contents coming your way.